Okay, good. All right, let's get started. How can save you thousands on your next car, plus little known secrets the dealership doesn't want you to know. So I'm assuming that most of you are in the market to buy a new car today, or thinking about it soon. So hopefully some of the things that we go over today will be able to help you. Okay, so welcome. Today with me is presenting is Cindy Reinzema, my financial expert, and she has worked in and around credit unions since 1978, and she's been here with Hamilton Horizon since 1998 and the president and CEO since 99. And she's an advocate for consumers and a certified financial counselor. So they are a full service, not for profit financial institution, and they offer a variety of loans, including affordable, new, and used auto loans. So their contact information is on here, and it will be on later. If you want to contact them with any questions on an auto loan you might have. And myself, my name is Lori, and I have been in the car business my entire life. I ran the family business. So I always realized that the people didn't understand how to buy a car. It was just very frustrating for them. So I started my own business, and that's what I do. I help people purchase and sell vehicles.
And I think the funny thing is Lori's been driving a car since she was 7 years old.
Yes.
That was an interesting fact.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you how my service works a little bit today. And the first thing that we'll get into is a consultation. And this is where we will find the best vehicle for you and your lifestyle and your budget. So we can figure out what you need, want, and expect out of your next vehicle. And we can determine a budget and make sure that the vehicle price works with your life. So you're not strapped for cash on a car payment. And then we will narrow down the search. We will make sure what you want is the best choice. We'll go over options, values, mileage, resale values, and much more to find the best fit. Resale values are important because if you don't plan on driving the vehicle for a long period of time, you want to have some value left in it if you want to trade it in for your next purchase, or if you want to sell it and buy a new car soon down the line.
Lori, what are some of the things that affect the resale value of cars? I mean, we were kind of talking about that, but what would affect a resale value?
The mileage, the options are a big thing, like navigation, sunroof, things like that, as well as the color.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. What colors? I mean, I just never even thought of color as being one of the things that would affect the value.
Yeah, certain models, the color will actually make a difference. Usually, it's black and white.
Are more popular?
Yeah, are more highly sought after
than
certain colors, especially in certain models.
So, like if you were going to get a BMW, what color BMW would you want to buy to get a better value later?
Yeah, like if it was like an M3, you would want one of their sporty colors. They come in, bright blues and oranges and things like that. So you would want to do something like that. If it was a Range Rover or a Mercedes, you would want white or black.
Okay.
So these will make a difference.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I can help you get into all that information on whatever vehicle you pick. So this way you can make a informed decision.
That's great. Okay.
And then, so next we will get all your things in order. So this means, how are you going to purchase the vehicle? So Cindy can help you explain the financing. if that's the way you're going to go, and as well as your trade-in values and how that works.
Right, because and we were talking, like, if we have a trade-in, we always help people with their trade-in value of their current car. You can go to the NADAguides.com and look at trade-ins there. There's some other sites as well, Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds, that you can look at. The dealer's always looking at a different book for some reason that we can find online, but we get you in the range of what you're looking at from what your trade-in should get you. And I think, Lori, when you go to do a trade, really, what do you need to do to make that trade the most valuable?
Well, you want to have your car extremely clean, get it detailed, or you could clean it really well yourself, because that will make a difference. And you want to do some research on the current vehicle that you're driving. You want to see what they're selling for retail. You want to plug it in on like Edmunds and Kelley Blue Book and all those,
or NADA,
and do like a trade-in versus retail price, and kind of see where it falls with the miles and everything that you have. And so you're educated and you
So you need to know the make, the model, the year, the mileage, the options, and
clean
all of
Carfax, like a
clean
history report will make a
Carfax.
difference.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
You as an auto broker, dealer, appraiser, dealer, broker, will also do a Carfax for them. When you're
Yes, absolutely.
Will you also take a trade-in for them?
Yes.
Okay, so you can help them with that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It's always good to know. The financing side of it from the credit union will finance a used car as well as a new car. We do used cars 100% of NADA Guides retail value, which is a pretty high number for used cars. Older than 9 years old, we actually do 10, 11, 12-year-old cars as well, but not at 100% retail, NADA retail. So.
Which is still good, because it's hard to find financing.
Yeah, most companies don't touch those 10, 11, 12-year-old cars. But the oldest, the average used car on the road today is over 12 years old.
Right.
So it's, most people are trying to get their cars to last. It's only now that people are actually starting to look for their new cars again, because the economy seems to be improving some.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Okay. And next and then once all that is in order and you have all your financing in order, we will find the one. So we've narrowed it down. We know exactly what you're looking for. You know what you're approved for, what your finance rate is going to be.
Right, because we want to get you pre-approved before you go out to actually start looking. You can get a pre-approval and you'll know exactly what you could afford.
Right. So, this makes the whole process a lot easier and smoother. And I will go out and I will locate and research the one. I'll find the exact vehicle that you're looking for. And then this will include, the vehicle history report, photos and videos of the vehicle that we plan to purchase, the mileage, all the options, an overall condition report, and the final price with no fluff added. We don't upsell, we don't throw anything in there, we don't have any extras to sell you. It's the vehicle price and your sales tax and your doc fee and your motor vehicle fee. There's no surprises, nothing's added. So you know exactly what the number is going to be when you sit down to pay for the car.
Yeah. So you really don't have to go in to talk to an F&I guy who's going to try to upsell you with mechanical breakdown insurance and flat tire insurance and nick and dent insurance. And there's all these other things, the extras that they try to sell you at the dealership, which aren't necessary.
You skip over all of that with us.
Which is a good thing, I think.
And we can guide you and give you resources if it's something that you want to look into on your own, but we'll never charge you or make you purchase anything from us.
Right.
So then all that's left to do is to come in and pick up your vehicle, and everything is done and ready for you. The vehicle and your paperwork will be all ready, and then you just have to schedule a time that you would want to come into our private office and pick it up. It'll be clean, everything's ready. It's a very simple process. No stress or anxiety or anything involved. No pushy salesmen, nothing. So the next question you might be asking is, well, how do you save thousands? And here's how: because you get wholesale prices. We usually purchase from a private dealer only auctions, which is the same place the dealers buy the cars that they sell for retail on their car lots. However, we buy it wholesale and we pass those savings on to our clients because we don't have huge overhead. We don't have inventory laying around. We purchase every car individually for every client.
Right.
So there's no advertising, there's no commissions, there's none of that. So this way,
there's no huge building sitting
Right.
out on Route 1 or Route 130
Yeah.
or whatever that you have to pay for, like some of the other big dealerships as well.
Mhm.
So that helps.
Yeah. So it's just a very private, comfortable scene.
Customized.
Yeah.
It's customized. So it works.
And if you did find a car at a dealership that you just had to have, we'll work with dealerships as well to make sure you get the right price. We'll go over your paperwork, show where there's fees that don't need to be there and things like that. So we will also work that end too, if that's the way you want it to go. And so now, just saying, don't waste your time and energy and hard-earned money buying from a dealership again, because I will do all that work for you. And now the little secrets they don't want you to know. The first one is financing. And this is, Cindy and I both strongly agree that there's no other way than to have your financing in order before you ever go shopping.
Yeah, dealers make money a lot of different ways when they're selling you a car, either through trade-in, the retail price of the car, the extras that they add on. And one of the things that they do is they make money from the financing, and they have you go in after you've made your deal, and then you have to talk to their F&I guy or their finance and insurance guy. And what happens is they will sell your loan or try to sell your loan to different places, different banks or financing places. And depending on your credit score, they'll get different rates available to them. And what happens, and we've seen this happen before, they will take the lowest rate and they will add to that rate. And so let's say that the lowest rate they get is 5%. They'll tell you that that's 5.5 or 6 or 7 and keep the difference. And so the best thing for you to do as a consumer is to come to the credit union and get pre-approved, and you know exactly what your rate is here and what you can afford. And then when you go to the dealership, you can tell them it's a cash deal. They may try to sell you, and if you can use the rate that the credit union is going to give you to get a better rate at the dealer, that would be fine. You can always come back to us and we'll try to match the rate if we can. A lot of times we can't if it's a manufacturer, if you have really great credit and the manufacturer's offering an incentive for their financing. Sometimes they'll give you 0%. Well, we can't match 0%. But a lot of times it will give you the best rate they have. And I'll give you the story. We had a lady who had come in. Her brother had suggested she come to the credit union because she had gotten a rate at the dealer. And when we looked at the deal, the woman had an 836 credit score, which is almost perfect. And they had given her an 8% car loan rate. And when we turned around and looked at it, we ended up with a 3.25% rate here. And that poor woman, they just knew that they could take advantage of her because she had gone into the dealership by herself and she didn't know any better. So when she came here, she was thrilled. And then when she ended up a few weeks ago, her son totaled her car, I guess about a month ago. She came back here. She didn't even bother to go to the dealer, and we helped her with her next deal as well, because you don't want to go to the dealer and get taken advantage of. And so it's really sad. Not every dealer is that way, but there's a lot who are. So if you can avoid going to the dealer altogether, you can come to the credit union and use us, and you can go to Lori and get a car that's not necessarily, she can do brand new cars, but she can get you the car that's maybe a year or two old. And then you're not losing 20% of the value, or $3,000 to $4,000 driving the car off as soon as you drive the car off out of the parking lot at the dealer. So I think the best deals you can get is to go with somebody like Lori, who can find you the car you want, and then you're not losing a ton of money as you drive the car off the lot.
Right. And this is why we work so well together, is because we hate seeing people being taken advantage of. We hate it. And we work together very well to try to accommodate every client's financial situation and get them the best deal and work together. So it really does work in your best benefit. And you don't want to just at a convenience take of financing from the dealership because you're there and it's convenient. And that's why if you have it done ahead of time, you're more likely to not get trapped into that whole situation.
If you find yourself at the lot on a Saturday and they have a car that you want and you have good credit already, they'll let you take that car and you can arrange the financing after the fact too. Mm-hmm. So don't assume that their financing is what you have to take. Never. Either. So
yeah, that's a big one.
The next really good hint, the little secrets. A clean vehicle history report may not necessarily be a quality car.
Mm-hmm. So just this week, actually my sister's looking for a car. She sent me the car. I ran the VIN, and the pictures of the vehicle are white. So, but it's got a clean Carfax. So I'm looking, and from the beginning of the registry, car noted as red on every inspection. So what happened, either he got into an accident and he got a new door, so the VIN number didn't match, or he got into an accident and he painted the whole car. So either way, there was something not right about it, even though it did say clean Carfax. And this happens all the time. The history report, things don't get reported, floods, frame damage, accidents. People don't want to lose the value in their vehicles. They don't want to pay insurance. There's all kinds of reasons. So you really cannot use that as a validity that the car is perfect, because it's really not.
Really need to have your own mechanic check the car. Mm-hmm. And they will let that happen. They have, in fact, my son had recently purchased a car. Lori was working with him. He found a car that wasn't really available in the auctions. And the mechanic actually went over to the dealership and they put it up on the lift for him to check it. And it was okay. It was an okay car. The same mechanic had somebody bring a car into him. And it turned out the car had been welded back together. And there was nothing on the vehicle report when he had bought the car from the dealership. It turns out that the dealership, one of the salesmen had taken the car and gotten into an accident on the dealership lot, and they had put the car back together again. But of course, they didn't report that to Carfax. So things happen all the time. You have to have your mechanic check it and really do a good job looking at it.
Really do. And then another secret is certified vehicles. Now, purchasing certified can add $3,000 plus to the cost of the car. So you really have to ask yourself if it's worth paying that. Also, the $3,000 is going to be part of the bottom line that you're financing. So you're going to be paying interest on that $3,000 plus the entire length of the loan. So would it be more profitable for you to keep that $3,000 and put it into a bank account in case something goes wrong? Or, does it make you feel more comfortable to have it certified? You really have to, it's a personal preference, but.
Right, and read the fine print when they talk about certified vehicles. Because a certified vehicle that's certified by Ford has to be from a Ford dealership.
And only like that manufacturer can sell certified vehicles. So make sure that if you're buying a Ford, it's at a Ford dealership. Otherwise, it's not factory.
Yeah, you have to really be careful when you're talking about certified vehicles. It may not be worth getting a certified vehicle.
Right.
So,
and if it's a really good make and model and it has great ratings and it holds up, do you really need to add the $3,000 plus for the certification of it? I mean, it's really got to think about it.
Right.
Also, the car has to be 5 years old or newer with less than 80,000 miles. So the newer the car, the less likely, to have
problems.
Right.
Right.
So it's kind of something you have to think about. And other things that they will sneak in there are extended warranties. These are could be a nightmare. There's all kinds of labor costs and
And,
parts and
yeah.
where you have to get it fixed.
We had a member here, and they tried to sell him a $3,800 extended warranty on a car. When our lending manager actually went and read the fine print on the warranty, it said that you had to have a continuous proof of where every service had been done on the car. And they had sent this to him, and he had been the second owner. Well, obviously he didn't have that information. They wanted him to pay the $3,800 anyway. They knew he was the second owner, but he was never going to be able to collect on that warranty because he would never have proof of where all the service was done. So you have to be really careful on any extended warranty. We had a lady here who had nick and dent insurance on one of her cars, and the dealership did absolutely everything they could not to pay on it. She finally said, fine, cancel it, get me my money back. And they did eventually, because she was a pit bull about it and just said, give me my money back. You're not going to pay it? Fine. I want my money back.
Right. And how much time did she spend?
A lot.
Arguing.
A lot.
And,
but it was, you know,
to get
you
the
want to have to go
runaround.
through that kind of arguing. I love the story about VIN etching.
Yeah. This is they'll throw that in and not even tell you until you see it and question it. They'll etch the VIN on the glass, and it's anywhere, but it could be $300 to $600 or something like that. It's really a gray area of what they can charge. And again, you can buy, if you feel that it's necessary to have the VIN etched in your glass, they sell a DIY kit for $18 online. So, you know, again, that's another added cost into your financing price that you're going to be paying interest on. So you really want to cut out all the unnecessary expenses. So that one is just
and when they try to sell you the tire protection, the flat tire insurance, if you have AAA, you've got that anyway.
Right.
Or you can do it for about $16 a year on your car insurance, and they'll try to sell it to you for $300. So don't take that one either.
Even if you have a really expensive car, you can get the rims refurbished and all things like that for half the cost of what they're going to charge you for that service.
The service.
Yeah. Plus the nightmare, like we said, of calling and running in circles and trying to get an answer. It's just really not worth it.
Yeah.
And then, the extras. Just never buy anything you feel is unnecessary, because almost every single thing, if you decide when you get home with the car that it's something you want to purchase, you can always add it to the vehicle. You never have to make that decision at that second. So even though they're going to probably tell you that or pressure you into making a decision at that moment, never do that. Always go and research and really read stuff and take your time so that you know if it's worth it or not.
And never go shopping by yourself. Always have somebody with you as the voice of reason, so you don't make an emotional decision.
Yeah, you definitely need a wingman on.
It always helps. So,
and the best time to buy is September. So when they're getting rid of all this year's stuff and making room for the new year makes and models, that's when they're going to have great rebates and incentives. So that would be a great time to hold off until purchasing, especially if you have like a kid going to college or something. You might want to wait to buy it then. And
if you can't wait till September, best time is at the end of the month when they want to clear their inventory off the lot, because they're going to pay to keep the inventory on the lot the next month. So go at the end of the month, and it kind of they have pressure to get the cars off the lot for the following month.
Especially if they have a lot of like the same color. Like if you see a model and there's like 5 silver ones the same, that you're going to be able to get a better deal on those because there's so many of them.
Right. And then the question is, do you really need a brand new car?
Why?
And that's, the question, and that's been around for years and years. You lose the value, and it's 19% in the first year that you lose on a new car. If you bought a car that's 1 year old with low mileage, I mean, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, and Lori can help with that. I mean, she's been awesome when she's worked with a couple of our members here, and I've seen what she can send. When you work with her, she has a fee that she charges, but you're getting your money's worth because you're going to save on the car sale itself, on the car purchase itself. And she'll send you the cars that you want. She'll send you pictures of the cars, and she does the Carfax, and they do I believe it's an 80-point inspection on the car, and they're able to confirm that the car is in great shape. So,
yeah, why? As soon as you drive a new car off the lot, you've lost, over 9% of the value. So, I mean, unless you plan on driving it until it's dead, then that makes sense. But if you're somebody who buys a new car every 4, 5, 6 years, it's just a complete waste of money.
Yeah, if honestly, you're paying all those new car fees, and you don't have to do that. I would consider using Title Key Cash to find your next vehicle. It doesn't need to be if it doesn't need to be brand new. It just makes sense, and you can probably buy a nicer car than you would have bought if you had to buy a brand new car at the dealer for the same. But you're going to get a better car for the price. So, do you guys have any questions? You want to put anything up there in the chat box? Let us know.
Anybody have any very confusing car questions that they may have? And also,
just so you know, we're available for, to talk to consults. Our numbers are going to be available to you.
I mean, we could go on and on, but these are some of the top picks for us for somebody asked, do you provide services in or near Charlotte, North Carolina? Yes, like I could do a whole workup for you on a vehicle. I just couldn't do like a physical inspection or anything like that, but you could have a trusted mechanic in your area go out and inspect the vehicle. I could do, the vehicle's worth, the Carfax, like a whole workup. So basically everything except I couldn't get you the actual car, or I could get the car here and ship it to you because we do work with a lot of shipping companies. I mean, there's a few different ways we could work it. It depends on how comfortable you are with purchasing a car, in another state, but we do it all the time. We purchase cars too from all over. What kind? So you have a new car in mind? Mike says, I have a new car. And then Rachel says, how do you charge for your service? I have a flat fee. It's $575. That's my find me a car fee. And that's includes everything from start to finish. Sometimes I work with a client, for 3 months before we finally get the car and go through everything. So it could be a short process. It could be a long process.
Hey, Mike, why don't we get your information? And are you a member of the credit union here? Just type that in, and if you are, we can get in touch with you.
I think he's from Charlotte.
Yeah, but he could be a member here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, and a new car, sign me up, Rachel says.
Okay. Awesome. No, Rachel is a member. Okay, cool. Hey, Mike, we'll give you a call.
Yeah, and
Rachel we'll get in touch with you too.
Yeah, I have everyone's email from when you signed up today, so we can both forward you all our contact information.
Our info's on here.
Yeah, so we hope you've learned something today. Sounds like it. And thank you. And you can also make a phone or an in-person free consultation on my website. You can click and make an appointment whenever it's convenient for you, and we can meet up and just make sure it's something that you want and we can work together. And thank you, Rachel. She says you came highly recommended.
From Tom, probably. And if you guys felt like this is good information and you want to pass it on to anybody, we're going to put this up on our websites. So you can always pass it on and have somebody else listen to what we're talking about, and just send our information out to other people as well. Really appreciate your time today.
Yes, Tom, he's great too.
Thanks, Rachel.
We'll tell him. So thank you for joining us. And yeah, Mike, we can definitely help you with a new car. And Rachel, I'll send you some information, and anybody else who who's in the market, definitely send them our information or find us on any social media platform. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Enjoy the beautiful day.